Hi, everybody, and welcome to the KubeStellar Community Meeting. Today is February 8th, 2024. It's our second meeting of the new year, maybe third. I know we skipped one. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining. If you don't already have access to this note that I'm showing right now, please go ahead and go to kubestellar.io/join us. Click on that link, join our email mailing list, and you'll get access to this note. Plus, you'll start receiving regular meeting invites to these meetings. So make it a little easier on you. Okay, so we are part of the CNCF, and proudly, as part of that, we have a contributor code of conduct we abide by. So I'll go ahead and read it now. As contributors and maintainers in the CNCF community, and in the interest of fostering an open and welcoming community, we pledge to respect all people who contribute through reporting issues, posting feature requests, updating documentation, submitting pull requests or patches, and other activities. We are committed to making participation in the CNCF community a harassment-free experience for everyone, regardless of level of experience, gender identity and expression, sexual orientation, disability, personal appearance, body size, race, ethnicity, age, religion, or nationality. Basically, to sum those two paragraphs up, just means please be nice to each other while you're on this call, and it's a good practice to have in general. You'll want to go ahead and turn off your video if you don't want to be on video. Please mute yourself if you don't want to be heard, and if those two options don't apply for you, then if you'd like not to join at all because this is being recorded, please just connect now. Thank you. All right, first up, our agenda for today. There's a attendee list. Please go ahead and fill out your name in the attendee list to get recognition for having been here. The issue number for this particular meeting is here, 1501. Our agenda is as follows. So we'll get started. So we're continuing down the path of changes to our KubeStellar architecture. This is the new architecture that's coming in the 0.20 release. There's been a few releases or internal releases already. And so we'll just get a quick update on those. Ezra, would you like to give us an update?
Yes, we are currently focusing towards intermediate release. That the purpose of that, it's not a release, it's more of an internal snapshot, which will be used to validate that the MCAD KubeStellar integration is working. It's related to the data processing use case that we need to support. It's basically some intermediate validation that we are on the correct route for the KubeStellar 0.20 release, which is currently, you can find it in Git. We have milestones and labels, and currently the KubeStellar 0.20 release is planned for end of March, and the intermediate snapshot for end of February. So it's, I think, milestones 9 and 10 respectively, or 10 and 11. I don't recall. We need to look into the Git. So that's basically it. The snapshot will include the finalized API, naming, all of that. And after that intermediate snapshot towards the actual release, the main work will be to indeed stabilize, adding few features, close gaps, bugs, and all of that, regular work. But we do not expect, and we are not planning any changes in the API or the usage between the snapshot and the release. That's the plan, Andy.
Okay. Thank you, Ezra. Anybody else like to comment on the plan? All right, thank you. Is that tracking issue still valid there, 1622, Ezra?
Yes, I actually reopened it and update it with the intermediate snapshot. Yes, thank you.
I thought I saw that last night. Thank you. Okay, just confirming. All right, update on KubeCon. So I know that there's been some work done on the poster session. Braulio, you want to give us any updates on how that's coming along?
Sure. So yeah, we have been working on the poster session, along with our team partner from Cornell. So we have a draft version of the poster that we are just polishing and adding more information. But we are on time to meet the deadline for the poster submission.
Okay, thank you. All right, we've also were accepted, I applied for and we got accepted to the Partner Pavilion, which will be held in I think we get 4 hours out of the 8 that the floor is open, or I think for 2 days, maybe 3. So I'm still getting particulars on that. We did have I applied for a lightning talk. That presently is on hold to see, I guess, if there's anybody who chooses not to follow through on a lightning talk. So that's there. And also, let's see, there's one other thing here. Whoops. Yeah, okay. Update on GitOpsCon. So there was a RFP. It closed on February 4th. CFP closes. I got one talk in, and I'm waiting on acceptance rejection. So I'm waiting on to see how that comes together. So that's updates on GitOpsCon and KubeCon. GitOpsCon is in Seattle this year, and KubeCon EU is in Paris. KubeCon North America, I believe, where is it this year? Oh, I've forgotten. It's on the list. Okay. Anyway, so that's what we're targeting. Any questions on outreach and getting out in these conferences? Okay. All right. Next, we had some activity in the community, Slack community. So I added a community repo. I'm doing some research right now with the help of the SIG growth. And they're out there for community growth. And they've been very helpful, giving points, tips, hints as to how to make things easier for the community the external community to find us, and then what to do once there. So I've got some ideas there. I'm still noodling on it a bit, and I'll have more updates soon. I've marked the repo. I believe it's internal right now, private, and have not put it in public yet. OCM transport plugin and OCM status add-on. I believe they're both now. Are they both public now? Did anybody check?
The status add-on is public. I believe also the transport.
The transport is also public, and the code is there. And we are working on now being able to build and push the image of the OCM transport plugin. I think it's you can click it. I think it's all the code is there already.
Yeah, I was just seeing what was marked public and not. That's good. Okay.
Yeah.
So just FYI, we do get statistics that are kept and tracked by the CNCF as well as other parties, that whether you go in through the landscape or you look at our metrics through the CNCF, and this is how they measure our viability as a CNCF project. And note that our number of stars and forks is aggregate. So you can see that total number of stars, right, is growing. And not only do we have stars for KubeStellar itself, but also for KubeFlex. So because this is cumulative, you want to get those, promote the fact that these exist in your social circles and in any of your community networks that you have to increase, its notoriety and get those statistics recorded. So just be aware that that is a cumulative statistic.
A question about that, Andy?
Yeah.
You partially answered that about the community, but just to get your opinion, it's indeed a question: what is better, in terms of this, right, stars and visibility and all of that. are we impacted by the fact that we separate things to a different repository, and it's a bit maybe better to include it in the main KubeStellar repository, or in terms, maybe there is a measure of traffic issues and so on, and now they are divided across two repositories. So what do you think?
No. I think so as long as we can handle it, my opinion is more the merrier at this point, right? The idea
So
was
you are saying it's like organization level visibility, or
right.
okay, got it.
So the KubeStellar organization is where the cumulative numbers are given. So for each of our independent repositories, so long as they're public, they're reported through the CNCF, and then we get a cumulative statistic assigned to it. You can look, and then all the check-ins and PRs and issues and what have you, that's also deemed activity. So the more repositories you have, potentially the more statistical relevance you can increase. So it's something that I think positively affects us, so long as we're able to staff those projects, staff those repositories, manage them, administrate them, if you will, and grow them. So long as they're doing that, they're satisfying that purpose.
Thank you, Andy.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Changes to API names. So June, anything you wanna? I think June, you were working on some of this.
Oh, yes. So the first bullet point API group, we have already finished that part. It's already merged. And then a second vote on it kind of changes as you are typing. We're going to change placement to bindingPolicy, I think. Yeah. And placementDecision to binding. This one is on the way. We have a two-step plan to finish that. And basically, the first step is should be a small and hard one, which is to make the API code available and the controllers passing the test. And then the second part should be the big and easy one, which is finish the renaming everywhere. Maybe we should get the names at the beginning of the project, but better late than never. We can make it happen.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just adding here, once this activity's been completed, it would be good to announce it officially, and then also to go back and scrub documentation. I know I've done a couple of documents that reference placement. Okay. Oh, and also, yeah, I've also knew the edge.kubestellar.io I used for the grouping also, so that this way I could get complete the work that I was doing on the blog. And I realized, some of the directions now say in our readmes that it's control.kubestellar.io. So we just got to be careful there. There's a kind of a tenuous time to have people switching those types of things when we've got people just testing and playing and starting to recognize who we are. So just be careful.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, good. Any update on pluggable transport from anybody here? I think it's on track, right? Do we have any tentative release for that, Ezra?
Oh, it took me time to get out
That's
of
all right.
mute. So yes, it's completely on track. What we've done, I think that the code is already the pluggable transport. We talk about the transport controller itself, which is already merged, but it's not running, right? The controller is not running, and we have the placement code, which is also merged, but is not used because it's currently the old one. So I think by the end of next week, towards the end of next week, we plan to complete the transition to use the new pluggable transport and the placement in our main branch. Okay, so it will need as I said, the main work was done already, and we had a lot of reviews on this. This is PR 1681 that was already merged, and we are now on the last kind of step, which is the integrating everything and actually do the transition, replace the current implementation of the the decision route and all of that with the new ones. So that's it. And I think the expectation is to have it completed by the end of next week. It involves also some changes to the status add-on to support multiple objects within manifest work.
Okay.
So that's the update.
Do we have any idea of are we looking at, we're targeting any particular provider or project to try this out with?
Not that I know of. I think that we also want, no.
Okay. All right. Very good. Okay. Anybody else want to add anything to Pluggable Transport? Okay. I've been busy writing up some blogs in the past week or so. And so I felt it was important for us to get out and start talking about the new architecture. The breakdown is as follows. In part one, I talk about the value and the legacy version of KubeStellar in 0.14 and allude to the new architecture. In part two, I talk about the new architecture and what we think it'll help our community and partners with, why we made the change, etc. Part three is a hands-on. And so, go in there and you can deploy the guest book from Google through KubeStellar Legacy 15. 0.20. And then I posted something on Where Am I? It's just about context switching, to get people prepared or talk more in depth about how to context switch and what tools I've used in the past for increased productivity. Had some good response from people. Some people even chimed in with some of their own. So that was pretty cool. And in part 4 and 5, I did a Helm deployment. And then in part 5, as you can see here, is Argo. I have part 6 is underway. It's on Flux. And I've got some other ones in the fire to talk about. I want to do one specifically on KubeFlex. I've got a funny little picture image that I want to use there. I also created a company inside LinkedIn called KubeStellar. If you're not already subscribed, please go ahead and do so. And as with anything else, all of these blogs are posted in that company page. And you have the option to quickly just hit the button that says repost. You don't even have to give any kind of information with that reposting. You can just repost it as is and get it out to your social circles. There's a lot of information here for people to take in and digest. And the more people we can get this out to, I think the better off we'll be. So I urge you to go ahead and just simply click on repost for any of those. And of course, they're all those blog entries are tagged and listed in the KubeStellar.io blog. Any questions on blogs, ideas for others? Anything we're missing? Anybody have anything else they'd like to contribute there? No?
And
Okay.
so just a small comment. So just the blog that we wrote for our session and KubeCon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Do you have the link? Can you put a link for that in here?
Yes.
Very good. Yep, forgot about that. Yeah, so everybody, there's also a blog related to the poster session for KubeCon EU. And so it's another one that's been posted out there on LinkedIn and can be reposted. All right. Okay. All right. Any other topics? If not, then we can move on. Ezra, do you want to go through any triage on the bug listing, on issues of PRs, or anything else you'd like to do there? If not, we can close.
No, there isn't any major issue. No, I think that we are currently also focusing on I would call it contribution or developer documents to better document how do you build the image, how do you publish, how do you tag, and actually even design it, right? I know that Mike was talking about it, so this is something we want to come up with so everyone is on the same page. This is it. I don't think that we have any major currently blocker or issues we want to discuss.
Okay. Very good. All right. So that concludes it. If we don't have any other open discussions, we can end early. All right. Thanks for everybody for joining, and please go ahead and repost those blogs if you get a chance. Thank you.
Thank you.